All right, guys, so I'm probably going to title this video something about, 100K SMA owner secrets. And I genuinely do believe that. So currently I don't run an agency that makes 100K per month. If you guys follow me for a while, you know that I scaled Centrosite. We did over 100K cash collected. And then I sold that agency. And now on this YouTube channel, I'm documenting building GrowthTube. And I am getting to that 100K per month mark way quicker than what I did with Centrosite, simply because I know a bunch of these secrets that I'm about to share with you. And I genuinely mean it, where for me now, this YouTube channel is about making videos that honestly, I wish I had when I was starting, right? And this is a huge amount of value that I think I'm about to give in this video. It took me a very long time to learn a lot of these lessons, but I'm glad that I can share that with you guys. So let us jump into it straight away. Okay, so a lot of these secrets, they might not sound anything special, but when you actually hear them for the first time, it will change the way I think you look at an agency. They might sound like obvious, this and that, but a lot of people, the obvious things are usually the hardest things to do and the hardest things to implement because it's so obvious, everyone just runs past them, right? So the first thing is, all of these agency owners, if you've reached that level, you understand that really momentum is key, okay? And what really momentum means is your ability to book sales calls. So when you run an agency, you need to understand that sales calls are quite literally like oxygen, right? As humans, we need oxygen to breathe. An agency requires sales calls, and it doesn't matter if you're at 100K or 10K, you need sales calls because you never know what's going to happen. Clients can leave randomly without notice. Clients can suddenly grow really, really quickly because your systems are good, but then they think they can do it themselves. Clients can go out of business, team members can leave, or you can hire too many people and then you have a lot of open capacity and these people are getting paid, and that's bad for profitability. So momentum is absolutely key. And I want you to do a little bit of an exercise here, right? Really to just check your momentum. If you look at the last 30 days as a time period, right? So today is, what is today? Today's the 12th of December. So if we go like to the 12th of December, really roughly like 30 days between this time period would be about the 12th of November, okay? How many sales calls did you get booked in this time period? Okay, because here's the thing. I think if you are less than 30, then you do not have momentum on your side, right? And honestly, actually, that's probably a little bit unfair because we'd have to give you guys the weekends off. So if we do the math here, we've got the weekend. So it's pretty much -8, right? So if you have less than 22 calls, you pretty much, I don't think, have momentum on your side. So the way that I track this now in my agency is I'm a little bit upset if we're not booking a sales call a day, at least Monday to Friday, right? Like one sales call a day. Sounds easy enough, easy goal, 1 call a day. Many agencies book 8 calls a day, 10 calls a day, but it's how long can you do that for and a sustained period of time? Because it's not about booking 8 calls a day and then the next week you book no calls, right? That's what happens with agencies. Usually they go through a period of this massive expansion and massive contraction, which is what I preach. What I tell a lot of people when they run agencies, go through periods of expansion and contraction, but never allow your pipeline to dry up, right? Because again, it takes momentum to consistently let your pipeline fill. Okay, so what that really means is try and book 1 call every single day in a 30-day rolling period. Okay, and again, you might be in a period of contraction where you're optimizing, you're building systems, you're hiring more people, you're not necessarily trying to grow. That's where GrowthTube is at the moment. GrowthTube is not looking to get any more clients. GrowthTube is my agency, by the way. Is not looking to get any more clients this year. We're at max capacity. I need to hire a bunch more people. And at the moment, I just don't have the time to do it. It's not my main priority. My main priority is helping you guys and creating an incredible experience for the students in SAP so that they can end off the year well. That is where my focus is going at the moment. So SAP is not really trying to grow, but I'm still collecting leads on a daily basis. Daily basis, GrowthTube is still collecting leads. Why? Because when I turn on that expansion mode, I don't want to be starting from scratch. I don't want to be starting from dry. Does that mean that we're booking calls? No, but we are booking leads, right? Which is very important. And we still have a lot of those processes running in the background. So if you're trying to grow, ask yourself, do I have momentum on my side? And if you're not trying to grow, maybe you're in a period like me where you're trying to just optimize, ask yourself, when you restart, will you have some momentum on your side? Obviously not as much as if you're actively trying to grow, but at least something. That is really, really important, right? So that's the first lesson that I wanted to share with you guys. The second lesson that I wanted to share with you guys is mass marketing. So I'm just going to say mass marketing always beats 1-to-1. Okay. So I heard a quote that one of my mentors taught me a while ago. And it's resonated with me ever since he said it. And he basically said that an incredible marketer is worth 10 incredible salespeople. Now let that sink in. because it doesn't at face value make a lot of sense. Most people think sales is the most important thing, and salespeople are usually paid the most in a company as well. But he really drilled this point home to me, and now finally I understand this, is mass marketing is all about building brand. Okay, we talk about this concept of active and passive forms of outreach on this channel. Active is one-to-one. So if I was to draw this up, active is one-to-one, and mass is your passive. So the difference between these two, active is like cold calling, sending emails, cold messaging, pretty much approaching people. Passive is building a brand. So that's a YouTube channel, like what I'm doing here for SAP, Twitter, social media, LinkedIn, all of these things where you're building a brand where eventually prospects will come to you. For example, I'm not actively cold calling or cold emailing agency owners, but I do have an offer that helps agency owners. Now, you're watching this content, and if you want to work closely with me and get more information, you can click the link down below. Now, I'm not telling you to do it, and I'm not reaching out to you personally. I'm just making a great video, hopefully a great video. And if you guys enjoy it and you find value and you recognize that, okay, to get more out of this, I need to work with him one-to-one, you'll take that action. And I'm just doing that in the background. I don't know how many people are going to see this video. Could be 1, could be 50,000, right? It doesn't matter. That is the power of mass marketing. Because what happens with mass marketing is you always get better results, right? With mass marketing, it's usually easier to close. It's high ticket. You can charge a lot more because the client's coming to you versus you going to them. Usually these clients are more qualified. So, it's easier to get results, which is important because, again, easier results make sales easier because you have more case studies. So this kind of acts as a, feedback loop kind of turning on each other, which is really, really important. This is a very important concept to understand because I think most agencies are simply just not doing any mass marketing. They're not building brand at scale. Really, really important. The third and final secret is understanding positioning, right? So I actually have a quote here, which is clicks versus sales. So what I basically mean by that is this mental model changed everything for me when I understood it, right? And I wrote this down for you guys, but understand this or imagine sales or marketing as a chain, right? So the next time you write your cold email, think of it as a chain. Okay, what you really need to understand is the whole concept of the email that you're writing is to sell the meeting, not to sell yourself as a service. What most people do is they write a cold email, and in the cold email, they're pretty much going on about their brand, their product, who they've helped, their service, what they can do for them, outcomes, guarantees, like they're doing everything. And then at the end, they just talk a little bit about the meeting. Oh, and by the way, if this interests you, please book a call. Really, really bad idea. Instead, think of it like this, right? The opening line of your email or the subject line, the goal of writing that should be to get them to actually read the rest of your email. The first message, right, or the first little paragraph should be to sell them on the outcome. We're not talking about what we do as a service, ads, anything like that. We're literally just selling them on the outcomes. Like, hey, do you want more leads? Do you want more qualified abandoned carts? Whatever you want, right? Then the actual email itself should sell the actual sales call. You're selling the idea of them getting on a call. You're not selling the service. Then on the actual sales call, that's when you explain your offer and you sell yourself. And then finally, the customer should sell your brand for the long, long, long term. Okay, so again, just like to wrap that in your head, all your cold outreach should not sell your brand, your product, your service, anything like that. It should simply just sell the idea of them getting on a call with you, plain and simple. Then on the actual call, you sell them on the service. You sell them on the fundamentals. You sell them on why they should work with you, why you're the best, etc., etc. And by the way, a prerequisite to that is before the email or message or whatever can get them to book a call, you first have to sell them on the idea of actually reading the email, or if you're doing cold loom outreach, watching the loom, right? And then finally, once you land a customer, the customer should sell your brand so you can get more customers, which is where you have a referral scheme built. Right. So this is just really, really quick off the top of my head, but these are 3 big secrets that I guarantee you a lot of you haven't thought through and you haven't implemented in your agency. And if you did, you'd see massive, massive growth. So that being said, guys, this was an awesome video for me to shoot. I wish I had this in the beginning. If you want to know more and get help implementing a lot of this, click the link. Otherwise, I'll see you in future videos.